It's BMac the Blindcaster here, episode 23 of the BMac the Blindcaster podcast today. I got Amanda here on today. Um, the podcast, she is back and ready to go. We have had quite the, shall we say, unique week with all this weather going on. And what we're gonna kind of do is we'll kind of do like a back and forth question. We'll do a kind of a back and forth questionnaire kind of thing. So I'll ask her questions, ask you questions. We'll kind of do a back and forth kind of board thing today. So first and foremost, let's start with what have you been doing since the last episode?
What have I been doing since the last episode?
Yes.
Not really all of much of anything, to be honest. I work and go home, go to my other job, and then wake up after I'm done and come back here.
Come back here. Nice.
I
nice
work.
Life. Must be a nice life. That's really cool. And I remember you said on the last episode, I just want to recap a little bit for people who don't know, you worked in a mechanic's place, right? At one point?
Yes, I did.
Did you like doing that job?
I did. I do miss it sometimes, but it was better to get out of the field while I'm still young and can find a different career path.
That's definitely not a very easy path to get out of. I mean, trust me, I work in mechanics, but I don't do manual labor stuff when it comes to like labor work. I don't do any yard work outside. I don't help that outside work at all. Like I don't believe in that stuff.
So you just sit around and eat your grilled cheeses and watch everybody else do it?
Basically, yes. That's basically how I do it. Yes, and I watch podcasts. So that's how my life is now. But yes, that's basically what I do. Life to live. So let me ask. So I'm curious to know this. This is a very interesting question. So you obviously, made a lot of friendships here at work. Have you at all had any particular people that you've gotten the most like you don't have to name names in general, but like have you hung out with anybody that you worked with here at all outside of work at all? I'm just curious.
Hung out with people that I like, my coworkers?
Yeah, like here, like anybody. Like I'm just curious. Like
No. I have my small group of friends from middle school and high school that I still hang out with every so often. But that's about it.
Kind of do your own thing, I guess, huh?
I do. I like to stick to myself.
Yeah.
So,
that's
curveball question.
Curveball.
What made you want to get into podcasting?
It's really interesting. I love this reversal. Good. Now this is round two. Well, let me explain why I want to get into podcasting. Well, there is because before I came here, I wanted to get a broadcasting job for a long time at a radio station job for a long time. And the stations I'd called said it's not as easy because podcasting is kind of growing now. So the radio stations are not through the toilet, but they're kind of slowly crawling away. So jobs have become a lot more harder now, to do it, and regular radio is changing and kind of slipping away now. So that's why podcasting is a lot easier now. I feel it's easier and it's growing in popularity now, And I think, what, probably better just to do that because regular radio, they censor what you can say, you can't say. I hate censorship. You know that about me. I can't stand being censored. So
rebel over here.
I am. I'm proud of it too. Proud rebel.
So you started off wanting to be a radio show host?
Yeah, first.
Wow.
I had a radio show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I had a radio show at Perkins for 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
Two shows. One was called Sports Attack with BMac, the first show. Then I had another show called, what was it? Talking Smack with BMac. That was my other show. So when I was at Perkins in secondary, this is an older group there, Perkins, I had 2 shows there. And we took callers on the show and played music and stuff. That was kind of my gateway into the radio world.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have told me these things, Brian.
I did not. I didn't think of it until you asked it. I'm glad you brought this thing up. So I'm curious to know, and this is a very interesting question. Do you think rock is dead?
Do I think
Rock and roll is
dead?
dead. Is dead. Or is that a strong word to use?
Well, I mean, it's a strong word, but I mean, for the most part, I'm gonna have to agree with that statement. The generation nowadays don't really. I feel like I don't hear as many people listening to rock and roll.
Yeah.
That used to. I feel like everybody nowadays is into rap and hip hop and R&B.
R&B. See, here's our problem with R&B is that I know Liv was gonna kill me for saying this.
Don't judge the R&B man.
Listen, I'll say whatever I want about R&B. R&B is basically pop music with jazz, with the jazz feel. That's what R&B is. It's R&B is.
Excuse me.
I'll say about bodies who ever won this podcast. They're not gonna hear. Liv's not gonna hear this. R&B is basically a. How can I put this? It's a music that's for people that are too relaxed. I feel too relaxed. Yeah.
Can you ever really be too relaxed, though, Brian?
Yes. R&B makes you fall asleep. I think. I don't fall asleep, but
debatable.
I will debate with anybody on it. I will debate with anybody. I will debate with anybody. You know that about me. I will debate with Liv all day long if I could.
Oh, I know you will.
Oh, I will. And I forgot to mention this too. You asking me about my podcast real quick. I always felt like I couldn't give callers enough time to talk. It was school run, so we did it on the internet. Kind of, it was an internet radio station.
So how long were the calls approximately?
Few seconds.
Wow,
if
really?
That. It was very quick. That's why podcasting is way better, because when you have a caller on a podcast, it's way more flexible, and there's a lot you can be more casual. I do not like uncasual.
Uncasual.
That's even a word. I don't care about the word. I made it up. I'll get money later from it. No, it's just I don't like uncasual stuff. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't sit well with me. And I feel today that and I actually wanted to mention to you something real quick. I know you know about this, and I'm doing this again this weekend. I was on a So Said podcast. Yes, I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, believe it or not, called the Classic Metal Show.
I watched. Well, you listened
to it. And I want to do something kind of like what they're doing, which is they talk. And here's a story about that. I found them out on YouTube, and you know how I found out about them? They asked me how I found out about their show. I Googled something funny. I Googled Eddie Trunk is a jerk,
and they popped up.
And they popped right up, and they laughed about that. I called into their show and talked for about 55 minutes. And just so you know, little plug here. I'll be on there again this weekend at 10 o'clock, the second hour of the Classic Metal Show, talking about my Gene Simmons Vault experience in Boston, which I will share with you in a second. A story about that. The hosts on that show are Neely and Chris Aiken. Shout out to Neely and Chris. You guys are great. You guys are the best podcasters in the world. There was a story that I heard on their show recently that I love to hear. A guy was going on a Def Leppard cruise recently with the band Def Leppard, and he paid money for meet and greets and stuff. And
really
dying. He got paid for the meet and greet, and he never got the meet and greet.
He never got the meet and greet?
No. It was basically because. Well, here's the funny story about that. The band members came out and said, we can't perform tonight, so the singer said, I can't sing tonight, but 4 of the guys are going to perform, help me out with performances on the cruise. The singer lost his voice on the cruise. He couldn't perform.
What luck.
the singer, Joe Elliott, the singer of Def Leppard, lost his voice